Hey guys, so our schedule for teachers changed a little bit on Friday. So I'm not going to be holding our normal afternoon meetings like I said I would. So instead, I've made a video here that I am going to use to give you the same information I would have given you on Friday, but now you get to watch it on your own time and you don't need to show up on Friday for our meeting. So the main thing that we need to talk about is the fact that yes, this is a 3-day weekend, but next week we return to our hybrid schedule. And so what does that mean? So first off, keep in mind, what group were you in? Hybrid A was if you were last names A through K. That meant you were Monday, Tuesday in building, Wednesday through Friday you were online. Hybrid B was last names L through Z. That meant Monday, Tuesday, and Friday you're online because Wednesday and Thursday you were in the building. Core, you're online every day, right? Monday through Friday. The key to this is whatever you were like before Thanksgiving, before we shut down, before we went fully virtual for all of this time, whatever you were earlier is what you still are. So if you want to make a change, you can't just show up or not show up as you want. You have to make sure that you are doing the proper channels to get that accomplished. So if you want to change from being hybrid to being core, meaning you don't want to come to the building at all, you want to continue to stay home all 5 days, you must complete and turn in the appropriate paperwork. It is on the district website, but that needs to be turned in before you are free to stay home every day. Otherwise, for attendance purposes, you are expected to be in the building on your assigned days. If you want to change from core to being hybrid, meaning you don't want to stay home every day anymore, it isn't working for you, or you just really need to see other people and you want to start coming your 2 days a week, you need to contact your guidance counselor or your principal about making that change so that your attendance will be entered appropriately and you are held accountable for those 2 days that you are expected to be in school. I know there is a handful of you out there who were coming 4 days a week because of being in a particular circumstance. If that was in place before, it should still be in place. You may want to check with your guidance counselor, principal, case manager just to verify, but that is staying in place if that was something that was given to you. Coming 4 days is not an option for everyone, so that's not something that's changing at this time. One other thing that we need to make very clear is that there is a slight change to the class schedule compared to what we've been running for the last several weeks. Okay? Our class schedule is having to go back to our bell schedule because obviously we will have people in the building, so we need to make sure that we are running the same schedule. So on your screen there, and it's also in the email I'm sending you, is the class schedule that we run in the building, okay? Homeroom is going to be in person only. You won't have the online homeroom. The other period to keep in mind is that period 43 or period 5, whichever one you have, that's where lunch is located. And so that is dependent upon the class you're in. Some people eat lunch first, have a full class. Some have a full class and then have lunch at the end. And some, like those of you who have me that period, we eat lunch in the middle. So that's a class, especially if you're a core student, that you're going to need to know sort of what's going on, okay? You'll see a couple notes there on the right-hand side. A couple changes other than just the times are tweaked just a little bit because classes are going back to being 45 minutes long. There's only 5 minutes between classes. Our virtual schedule had 10 minutes in between. So if you're going from class to class while at home, make sure you're doing so as quickly as possible because there's only technically a 5-minute class change. Live lessons for those students who are online is a teacher by teacher decision. It is not something that is blanket across the board. Some teachers might still be doing every day. Some teachers might be doing only particular days you're going to have to know what's happening in each of your classes. The support period at the end of the day, when you're an online student, it is not considered a required time. It is time that you can make arrangements to go see and talk with your teachers if you're having problems. That's when a lot of office hours and things of that nature are held. If you're in building, remember you report back to your homeroom for that time, and it's your study hall time. Okay? So ultimately, we need to take all of this sort of general information and what does that specifically mean for my classes? So if we're talking specifically for my class, live classes are going to continue daily on our new adjusted schedule back to the bell schedule. So I will be teaching every day on Teams, just like I have been for the last several weeks. What that means is if you are in building, you'll be sitting at your desk in my room. You'll be watching me do everything on the smartboard. You'll be here to actually participate in the lessons in terms of answering questions, asking questions, all of those things. If you're at home, you're going to log in through Teams. You're going to see my smartboard just like you've been seeing it for weeks. You'll still hear me. You may hear your classmates in the room ask or answer questions. You're still welcome to participate via Teams in terms of unmuting to ask or answer questions yourself, but you are able to come and join for those live classes each day, okay? Attending class in person or online while I'm doing the notes for our scheduled time period counts as credit. If you do not attend class in one form or another, you will be required to do the Edpuzzle that is posted online. Okay, all of our assignments are going to continue to go through Canvas. It's easiest just to keep that consistent because it is still the fact that COVID is still out there. We could still close at any moment and go back to our fully virtual schedule. So I'm trying to keep things as consistent as possible. Consistent live lessons that you can log in when you're at home. Consistent assignments going through Canvas. If we have a test or a quiz and you are in person in my classroom, you will complete that test or quiz on paper. We'll say old school, even though that's the normal way of doing things. If you are at home or online during a test or quiz, you will complete it via Canvas. I am going to have you log in for class though, like we've been doing these virtual days, so that your test or quiz is scheduled at the same time that it should be. That's going to keep things consistent in terms of how long you have and things like that. So the last thing I do want to talk about is what is happening for our class specifically next week. So for geometry next week, we're going to continue in our Unit 6 polygons packet. What I would say is you do need to be careful that if you're a hybrid student, please bring your packets with you to school. I know you guys have been working at home. We need to make sure that we're bringing items to school. Monday, there is no school. Please enjoy your long weekends. Tuesday, we are going to look at what's known as coordinate geometry. We're still going to be working with the quadrilaterals, but looking at them in a slightly different way. Wednesday and Thursday, we're going to take care of the last two quadrilaterals. So we're going to look at what are known as trapezoids, and we're going to look at what are known as kites. Friday, we will have our normal Friday meeting. The main purpose of that meeting is I want to introduce the performance task. So I'm going to do sort of a quick overview explanation of that performance task so that everyone gets that sort of from me and not just from Canvas. So especially important if you're a core student, because you won't even see me necessarily the next week, though you can, obviously you'd be able to log in and see me, but it is a little different. So it is to your benefit to make sure you're in Friday's meeting. There's a note there. Please let me know as soon as possible if you are going to change from being a hybrid student to a core student, meaning you will not be coming to school anymore, because then I want to make sure that I mail you home a copy of the performance task. Now that we're coming back hybrid, I won't mail it to everyone. I will hand the performance task to those of you who are coming to school. You can just get it from me live and in class. But if you're at home, I want to make sure that I send it to you. It is definitely one of those items that is going to be easier to complete if you have my physical papers versus if you try and just pull it off Canvas. So please, 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 if you do not believe you are going to be coming back in this building for school and you're staying home every day, please, please, please send me an email and tell me that so I can put that in the mail to you, okay? So that is what our week looks like. Please just make sure, again, I'll be available every day for our lessons. So if that has been working for you better than the videos ever did, please continue to show up for our lessons. And obviously, guys, we will simply work together through this. Once again, things change in a heartbeat, and we'll just keep being flexible. But I think as we've sort of added pieces to it, now with this whole virtual time, we've added in these virtual live lessons. I think things just slowly get better as the year goes on. So again, enjoy your long weekend. I will see you Tuesday, some of you live and in person as real human beings again and not circles on my screen. And so I'm excited to see you and talk to you and actually have you talk back to me, whether you like it or not. But it'll be nice to move forward at least in one small part. Okay? So I will see you all next week in one form or another. And again, enjoy your weekends.